my name is Nicole Baker and I am the Tangen House Supervisor here at Living History Farms, as well as a head cook for our Tangen House dinner program in the wintertime. And during this time of year, we're usually transitioning between our winter programming and our summer programming. So we're going to show you different videos to show you just what that looks like here at Living History Farms, since you can't usually come out to see these things yourself. So when we are doing our historic dinner program here at Living History Farms, probably the most common question we get is, did you really cook on this stove? And the answer is mostly. So because we are a licensed restaurant in the wintertime, we are required to cook our meat products in a temperature regulated oven. So that means a digital readout on the stove. Now for everything else that does not have meat products, the state of Iowa does allow us to have everything come off the stove. So if things like bacon are in a dish, we cook them on a modern stovetop. The roast that we do for the main meat course, we do on a modern stove, but everything else can be completed on this stovetop. So things like the vegetables and the rolls that we serve for the dinner program. A little bit about this stove here at the Tangen House at Living History Farms. This stove was cast in the 1870s, so it is a historic model. And just like today, as long as you take care of the things that you own, your things will last you a very long time. So thankfully, everyone who has owned this stove over the past 150 years has taken great care of it to allow us to use it today. Now, a stove in this time period is a lot easier than you would expect to work with. So today you can turn a dial on your stovetop, you can turn your oven to a certain temperature, and it cooks exactly how you want it to. You're able to do the same things, but without turning a dial. So firstly, the stovetop here, depending on where you put things on your stovetop, you can kind of think of this as one big burner with different temperatures. So for the stove, the firebox is directly here on this side of the stove, directly underneath these plates, if you want to think of it that way. Now, the further away you get from the firebox, the cooler that stovetop is going to be. So you can think about a high temperature, you can think about a medium to a medium high temperature in the middle, and then about a medium low temperature on the very end. Now, how you control the temperature inside the stove is a little different. So inside the oven, it looks a lot like a modern oven. So it has a rack in there, it does have a bottom shelf, which is cast iron, so it does actually brown the bottoms of rolls a little better than in a modern stove. But you're actually going to adjust your fuel. So this stove is designed to burn coal, but we burn wood as a museum. And depending on the fire you need, you'll burn different sizes and types of things in your stove to get different temperatures. Now in this time period, because people are not working with temperatures and dials on their stovetop, you're not going to see temperatures in recipe books. So when recipe books do talk about temperature, usually they're telling you a low stove, a moderate stove, or a hot stove. So the technicalities there, a low stove is going to be closer to 300, a hot stove is going to be closer to 425, where that moderate is at the 350, 375 range we use today.